How many miles? 50?
To Eastbourne? 61. 69.
Let's just walk around towards Devil's Dyke then.
Yes.
Next stop.
Oh, God.
So who are you meeting today, Louis?
One of them is Naomi, and she's an anthropologist, and she has interviewed people who are interested in euthanasia.
Who else? We've got the legal guy.
Yeah, so he's going to talk about the UK law about euthanasia, and also like how it's interpreted, because like I think people bend it quite.
My biggest fear with suicide is losing somebody close to me. You're going to feel in so many ways like you could have helped them. So many things that you could have done and you would have done, and maybe you was busy in life and you didn't think about it, you know? And for me, that's why I want to look at this.
I think the sort of fear or responsibility of leaving people behind whose lives you're gonna affect. I mean, yeah, I guess from my own experience, that's actually what I thought of. I thought of the impact that it would have on my parents and all of that. That's, and I think, but if you didn't have that, if you didn't have any of those family ties or friends, or I don't know. I really don't know.
One of the most appalling things about suicide is how mundane and frequent and boring and depressing it is. So most of it goes completely unreported. No one cares if a 55-year-old bloke who hasn't got much of a family hangs himself.
And one of the core things that we do is that allow people to make the choice to end their life, and we try to support them and respect their wishes. Every part of you is crying out for something different to happen.
Cross the road, some more steps there, go down that road. When you get to the end of the road, you'll be standing.
Your granddad's first wife?
Yeah.
She committed suicide
At Beachy Head, yeah.
Right. Wow.
And survived. And we can't figure out how that's even possible. I mean, you've been there. How could you do that?
Places like Beachy Head have got this massive suicide rate at Beachy Head because it's known as somewhere where you can complete a suicide, and that's it.
One week, a few years ago, within 2 days, within 48 hours, I buried a baby which was, I think, 9 days old. And then the next day, a lady who was 101.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? I couldn't get my head around that. I remember standing at that second funeral, and I just could not get my head around the 100 years between these people and how unfair it was. Or, I don't know. I still can't get my head around it.
What's your favourite suicide track?
Green Baby Dream.
Who sings that?
Suicide.
Oh.
Is it not suicide you're talking about?
Yes, no, it is. Like you're talking about. But I wondered if there was a particular track about suicide.
Oh, about.
Now put aside those thoughts about suicide and just imagine yourself walking. See if you can notice anything different in your body. Have any tensions disappeared, or have you got new tensions that weren't there before, or do you feel lighter or heavier?
Well, I like walking the downs. I like walking. I think it's a nice space for thinking, or not thinking, putting perspective on things, you know. It's a nice natural pace and speed to experience the world around you. Physical grounding.
All this in front of you, it's just brilliant. You just can't beat it, you know. And there's birds, there's sheep, there's trees, there's, you know what I mean. You're kind of moving through and you're seeing all this going on. I think
That's how I feel. You connect to it a little bit.
yeah,
Don't you?
absolutely.
Bless Aunt Mary Moses and all her power and might, oh, and send us peace to England, peace by day and night, oh. Allen toll, jolly rumble, oh, we were up long before the day, oh, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May, oh, for summer is a coming in and winter's gone away, oh.
We're nearing the end of this suicide walk. 100 miles, 3 weeks, 25 hills, a trail of conversation as winding and as long as the Ouse itself, and too many steps for me to count, too many thoughts for me to capture on this page. And there's one reason why we're all standing here today that's drawn each of us for our own private and not so private reasons. A subject that provokes questions about what it means to live and what it means to die. How do we talk about suicide? How do we approach the subject of suicide without romanticising it, trivialising it, without ourselves falling into some kind of despair? Can we walk this final stretch of coastline, holding the beauty, the power of the place, and also perhaps the sadness? We're all living and we're all dying. Sad but true. We see death as the counterpoint that makes life burn brighter. Can walking get us in touch with this fire?
What's the life of a man? Any more than a leaf. A man has his seasons, so why should he grieve? Though in this wide world he seems fine and gay, like a leaf he shall wither and soon fade away.